My name is Litia and I'm from the beautiful island of Laos and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rock.
My name is Casey, I'm from Tabua. We love Today FM in Tabua. Today FM rocks.
My name is Selina, I'm from Tavenga-Vengamba. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Pula, my name is Carlo. I love listening to the music in Today FM, in Malak Island. Today FM rock.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, Lambasa residents get least security. Over 500 Fijians have assets over $1 million. And concerns raised by PAC over Nadi Town Council.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spade.
70 families in the north have today been given 99-year leases by government, making their settlement on state land legal. The families from around Lambasa say they will now be able to sleep under their roofs, not worrying or living in fear of being evicted. Eleanor Tarangaivu has the story.
The 70 families receiving their 99-year leases from government today have been occupying state land with no legal status for years and previously didn't enjoy the security of Tanua. From today, all that changes.
They will now have a peace of mind of knowing that they and their children will have a place that they can call as their permanent home.
The leases now means that these families can access loans from financial institutions to build their homes, as well as access government housing grant initiatives.
But today, ladies and gentlemen, by having security of tenure, these squatters will no longer be squatters. They will get the 99-year leases that will give them a sense of dignity and security that every Fijian deserves.
The families receiving the leases today are from Vitandra, Walimbasonga, Bodha and Navula settlements.
On behalf of everyone present, I would like to thank the Minister concerned. With his hard work, we will now be able to live in the land we have been living for 40 years.
To date, government has regularized 10 informal settlements around the country and given out 321 leases. Eleanor Turangivu, FBC News.
The Fiji Revenue and Customs Service classifies individuals with net assets worth $1 million or more as high-wealth individuals. On record, Revenue and Customs has identified 527 Fijians and businesses who fall in this category, but believes there are many more high-wealth individuals who have not declared their full net worth. Rachel Nath with the story.
There are 333 businesses and 193 individual salary earners that classify as the high wealth population.
According to what we have actually done is we have looked at the declared incomes that they have given us. So, we have looked at incomes of $1 million and above into that category.
Das says although more than 500 of the population are classified as high wealth individuals, he believes there are many more.
Everyone will agree with me. We don't think Fiji only has 527 high wealth individuals. There are many out there who are not in the net. So I'm just giving you an opportunity. Come into the net before we have to pull you in. And the consequences will be very difficult.
Revenue and Customs is warning individuals and businesses to declare their assets or prepare to face the full brunt of the law. Rachel Nath, FBC News.
Serious concerns have been raised by the Public Accounts Committee on the loopholes discovered in the financial operations of the Nadi Town Council. It has been revealed that more than $5 million in income were not reconciled by the council a few years ago. Pranita Prakash reports.
The committee chair says the variances highlighted in the 2014 Auditor General's report is a worrying trend.
If a total of 2.436 million is fairly stated in the Statement of Income and Expenditure of Gender Fund. So apart from everything else, this is the income that comes directly to the town council. That is business license, trading fees, rental income, taxi carrier charges, council's rates. And that also has a variance of 722,000. In fact, if we add points from questions 1 to 5, we're talking about a good $5 million that's not reconciled properly by the Nadi Council.
The manager of finance says they were not able to find proper records prior to 2012.
So it wasn't reconciled at that time?
It wasn't reconciled?
It wasn't
reconciled. Or it is being done now?
Yes. We've done a thorough reconciliation in 2016.
There are also loopholes in the accounting system, and the Nani Town Council is working with the Ministry of Local Government to change the system. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
A rape case involving 4 men who allegedly raped a 13-year-old boy at a village in Tavayuni began in the Suva High Court today. The men, who are all related to the victim, allegedly committed the offence between November 2015 and January 2016. Before their trial proper started, the prosecution lawyer informed the court that the third accused tried to interfere with one of their witnesses this morning. He told the witness to consider their blood relation and also asked for forgiveness. The defense lawyer said the comments made by his client was just a passing gesture. As a result, the prosecution made an application for the accused rapist to be remanded in custody. Judge Temo ordered the accused to be remanded in custody, saying this will be a warning to other accused persons who are trying to sabotage the trial. Around 800 micro and small businesses have been boosted with the $1,000 grants from the government today. The boost will help increase the income for the entrepreneurs to meet everyday expenses. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports.
The third disbursement of the micro and small business grants in Bonolevu this week sees 888 entrepreneurs in Lambasa receiving what government calls is a leg up for their businesses.
These 888 entrepreneurs will join about 15,018 recipients who have received grants up till now.
Minister for Industry and Trade Fayaz Koya told the recipients in Lambasa today that government's assistance to their businesses does not stop with the small grants.
The recipients will be provided with the relevant business tools such as training and mentoring and incubation services and workplace attachments with private sector companies.
I have a fiberglass boat and an engine. I also have a license. But because I am a woman, I feel a fishing net would be suitable to me to use for fishing, so I can get an income to support our livelihood, especially my children's education.
Today I've get the $1,000 for the poultry farming. It will be help me to increase to make the chicken feeds and also to raise more chickens so that I can sell, and it will be my income for my home and my families.
15,906 entrepreneurs have so far been assisted under the Micro and Small Business Grant Scheme since it started in 2014 and has impacted the lives of 79,000 Fijians. Eleanor Tarangaivu, FBC News.
Still to come, state-of-the-art private medical facility opens in Suva. And Miss World Fiji impresses judges at talent auditions. Stay with us.
Number 2 na seri. Ya dora subuni kurna bili. Borani batu karaham para binaranga. Total takinal na warong ng Bula FM. Number 2 na seri. Bula.
Bula FM number 2 na seri.
A new state-of-the-art private medical facility has opened in Suva under Miot Pacific Hospitals. The emergency centre boasts world-class facilities with the country's first 4D high-definition CT scanner, as well as a heart revive centre that aims to be the one-stop shop for cardiac conditions. Maggie Boyle toured the facility and filed this story.
An investment of $18 million, the Cardiac and Accident Emergency Centre promises space-age treatment at Stone-Age prices.
One, you had no access to senior staff or good technology round the clock. And two, it was ridiculously overpriced. And right now, both those are solved.
Set up with round-the-clock care and specialists on hand, efficiency is paramount.
And what we've also been mindful of is that you can't just run a service importing talent from overseas. So each of them has a native Fijian medical professional with them.
While the Bank of the South Pacific remains the hospital's biggest shareholder with 70%, the focus is on providing the best medical care locally.
We haven't cut any corners in terms of what we've given you is a world-class facility that meets the highest standards anywhere in the world.
It took close to 5 months to construct the new facility in what used to be the hospital's car park. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Bringing in more motorcycles for the police force will ensure officers attend to cases promptly, even during the busiest traffic. Police Commissioner Brigadier General Sitiveni Gilio says 20 motorcycles are currently being processed and will soon be operational. 120 motorcycles will be brought into the country in January. The motorcycles will have different engine capacities to be used on patrols and other issues. With just a day away before the crowning of Miss Telecom Fiji 2017, public turnout for the past 5 days at Thurston Gardens in Suva has been low. The organising committee says this is due to a number of issues, including Fijians not being familiar with the new venue. Kelly Vavala reports.
This was the scene at Albert Park in Thurston Garden in Suva at around midday today. Not many people turned out for the food stalls and rides.
Been in Thurston Garden, I don't know, people are a little hesitant in going to Thurston Garden because usually when we have our festival pageant, it is exposed to a bigger area like Albert Park or Vodafone Arena. So maybe it's an enclosed area, that is why people didn't show interest or didn't come.
Many food stall owners say business has been slow since the pageant opened last Saturday, but hopes are still high the crowd will pick up soon.
Business isn't good, but we're still here hoping people to come over. I understand in future this will be a better. This is a good place, but in future we'll have a good promotion on this.
We should have a build-up, marketing strategy so that everybody knows after a hibiscus, this is another festival that they should look forward to.
Fijians who were at the carnival today say most people were not aware of the pageant, which has resulted in the low turnout.
The promotion of the carnival was a lot of people did not know. Must be the weather and the children on exam.
It's important that all the Fijians come together and support it.
Even though some businesses have not really picked up for the last few days and some Fijians are not aware of the event, hopes are still high that many Fijians will attend the event come Saturday. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
Miss World Fiji Nanise Rainima brought the judges and other performing contestants to tears last night at the global pageant with her talent audition by playing the piano and singing a song she wrote.
Every day feels like it's gonna be the same, but I
The original song is an ode to her grandmother, a cancer survivor who Rainima was inspired by. She penned the song to mark Pinktober to raise awareness on breast cancer. Miss World Fiji National Director Andy Blake says the response to Rainima's talent has been exceptional. In addition, she was the only contestant to sing and play the piano. Hopes are now high that Rainima may be picked to perform her talent as part of the showcase in the pageant live on FBC TV on November 19th. Ahead in sports with Jamie, the latest from Fijian Drua camp, but up next is Rachel with business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight. Missouri Town Council loses revenue. And in growing Fiji, Minister praises hospital upgrade. Stay with us.
Ahead in sports with Jamie, young netters get contract offers, but up next is Rachel with the latest in business.
Thanks, Jackie. Good evening, and coming up in business tonight. Increase in RB Patel dividend payout. And in growing Fiji, farmers discuss the future. Stay with us. Welcome back. Leading business tonight, the Missouri Town Council's revenue suffered a major blow following Tropical Cyclone Winston last year as the market occupancy went down by 50%. Manager Finance Swastika Rattan highlighted this during the council's submission on the 2014 Auditor General's report on the municipal councils and performance. According to the Auditor General's report, there was a deficit of $77,536 in 2011, and questions were raised about whether there was any improvement. Rattan highlighted there was improvements, however, their operations were affected after Cyclone Winston. The council is also repaying the loan taken to build the new $10 million bridge market.
From 100% in the first 4 months, it went to 50%. Now it is slowly picking up. So we had some creditors for the following, like 2016, which we had to pay in 2017. So that's why we had some cash issue, but we are still managing fine, sir.
And we now join Rocco from HFC Bank with the latest from the stock markets.
Vinaka, here's the update on those expected economic announcements mentioned yesterday. The Canadian dollar tumbled to a more than 3-month low against its US counterpart after the Bank of Canada, as expected, left interest rates unchanged at 1%. New orders for US capital goods rose by 2.2%, more than forecast last month, while new home sales unexpectedly jumped to a near 10-year high in September. The pound sterling climbed almost 1% to an 8-day high of $1.33 after stronger than expected UK growth data cemented expectations that Bank of England will raise interest rates next week. Among other major currencies, Australia released its import price index for the third quarter, which dropped by 1.6%, beating the estimated drop of 1.5%. Meanwhile, the percent drop in the export price index was much less than the expected 6.3% drop and had no major impact on their currency. Well, that's the economic update for now. Back to you, Rachel.
Exchange rates and foreign currencies in the Fijian dollar. As you can see, there was a general decrease across the rates today, with the Fijian dollar weakening against the Chinese yuan and the American dollar to close at 3.14 and 47 cents, while the Australian dollar rose to close at 61 cents. The New Zealand and PNG kina weakened, closing at 68 cents and 133. As for the commodities market, it was a mixed day, with oil prices closing at $52.15 a barrel. Gold was down to close at $1,279 an ounce, and silver closed at $16.97 an ounce. And in growing Fiji tonight, the Minister for Health and Medical Services, Rosie Akbar, has commended the work put in by MEOT Pacific Hospitals in setting up world-class facilities. Speaking at the launch last night, Akbar also highlighted the service provided by the hospitals are significantly different. She says MEOT will work closely with local doctors.
Thanks again to MEOT, we now have access to 2 particularly remarkable machines which will now be both used for diagnosis and treatment of complex conditions. As mentioned by Dr. Prithvi, the Revolution 4D CT scanner can provide multiple 3D images over time, which is the 4th dimension in case you're wondering, and so give doctors access to moving images of organs, blood vessels, soft tissues and muscles.
And that's business this evening. Now to sports. Here's Jamie.
Like Rachel, and good evening. Coming up in sports, Nruo coach says the next match will boil down to smart rugby. And young bodybuilder on a mission to climb the ranks. This and more after the break.
मैं प्रेमिला वायरुकु रेकी रेकी से सुबह मेरी आँख खुलती है तो मैं मिर्ची एफएम सुनती हूँ। मिर्ची एफएम इज नंबर 1, इट्स सो हॉट।
हम लोग बार टाउन के कैरियर ड्राइवर लोगों ने हम लोग के मिर्ची एफएम सुनो अच्छा लगे। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट।
हाय, मैं संध्या नारिया रेकी से, मेरे सारे दोस्त मिर्ची एफएम सुनते हैं। मिर्ची एफएम इज हॉट, आई लव मिर्ची एफएम।
हमें स्पिन तो हुआ कि मिर्ची एफएम में सबसे अच्छा गाना बजे।
मिर्ची एफएम, इट्स हॉट।
Discipline continues to be a thorn in the side of the Fiji Airways Ndrua since its debut in the National Rugby Championship, and the issue has frustrated coach Senirusi Serubakula. Ahead of its match against the Sydney Rays this Saturday, Serubakula says his team needs to be on top of its game and play smarter rugby to have any chance of making it to the knockout stage. Vashnil Prasad reports.
With the suspension of 2 Fijian Ndrua players and the team leading the list with 7 yellow cards is something of a concern to coach Senirusi Serubakula.
It's unacceptable. It's very disappointing. And the emphasis is on the boys that they have to play smart rugby.
A few changes are expected in the run-on team to be named tomorrow, but the players are confident of an improved outing against the Sydney Rays.
There's a lot of reliable replacements in the team. They've been in the squad for a while, and we feel and we know as a team that they'll come in and fill those big shoes.
The side is not underestimating the 8th place Rays, which has lost 5 games and won 2 this season.
Every team in the NRC competition is tough, and we're treating this game as normal, like we prepare for all other teams.
The Fijian Ndrua takes on the Rays at 6:30 p.m. at ANZ Stadium in Suva on Saturday. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, Fijians playing for Australian NRC teams are impressed with the support at home for the Fijian Ndrua and for them as well. 3 Fijians were part of the Queensland country side that played in the Ndrua last weekend, and the players had nothing but praise for the home support. Vodafone Fiji Mbati forward Coben Sims has been ruled out of the Rugby League World Cup due to injury. Despite Sims not receiving medical clearance by his Brisbane Broncos side, he was named in the 21-member Fijian squad. Fiji National Rugby League Chief Executive Timothy Nalemba verifies that further tests in Australia confirmed that Sims could not be part of this year's World Cup. Nalemba says they will decide tomorrow if a replacement for Coben is required. Rugby League legend Petero Dibonideva will be Fiji's flag bearer at the opening ceremony of the World Cup in Australia. The former Mbati captain has been with the current team as an official and will lead the pack at Amy Park in Melbourne tomorrow night. Meanwhile, the Mbati received a warm welcome upon arrival at Townsville Airport today. Fiji plays USA at 9:40 p.m. on Saturday. Vodafone Fiji football team's tour of Malaysia next month has been called off. Fiji Football Chief Executive Muhammad Yusuf says some changes to the Asian Football Confederation fixtures resulted in Kyrgyzstan pulling out of the match against Fiji. Yusuf adds that they tried to arrange the matches with Jordan, but efforts proved futile. Fiji FA is now trying to arrange for 2 matches against New Caledonia before the national team hosts Estonia next month. Fiji football coach Christophe Gamel has expressed his sheer disappointment over players who do not abide by simple rules. Gamel's concerns come days after some key players failed to turn up to national camp for upcoming international duties. Rohit Deo reports.
With just over 2 weeks to go before the match against Kyrgyzstan, the national coach is not happy.
I had to take some sanction, which is like this: if you don't want to be in time, to be on time and coming at the training, etc., it means you don't deserve to be in the national team and you don't deserve to represent your country.
Gamel says that despite being lenient when it came to players' welfare, it is always the national side which loses out in the end.
I have been kind. I released some players to go for IDC Auckland. Before they had the IDC here, but at the end, always the national team paid the bill, and I am tired with that. It's a duty, and they should not take it like a duty, but like a privilege.
Meanwhile, Captain Romero Takiate says the coach is making the most of what he has at his disposal.
A lot of new boys that have turned up for this camp. With the coaches and the staff, I think they've done the good job in giving us the small details in the type of football that they want us to play.
Fiji plays Estonia on the 19th of next month at Suva's ANZ Stadium. Rohit Deo, FBC Sports.
The International Table Tennis World Cadet Challenge proved to be a good testing ground for Team Oceania. 4 players from Fiji, New Caledonia, Australia and New Zealand made up the Oceania team, which placed 7th at the completion of the 10 teams event yesterday. Meli Tavanga has more.
Australian 12-year-old Finlu says being part of the Oceania team was a learning experience.
I've learned a lot from it. It's not very often that you get to play in this environment with a lot of high-level players.
Fijian-based 12-year-old Vicky Wu says despite losing all his games, he has been able to learn about his strengths and weaknesses.
It's a really competitive competition and interesting competition. I wish to come in the next World Cadet Challenge.
Coach Patrick Volts acknowledged his team's effort and says there is a lot to work on before next year's competition.
It was a really big journey. We are really a big underdog here as the Oceania team. So for us it was a massive learning experience. We now came 7th out of 8, so there's still a long way for us to improve. We're looking forward for next year.
The competitors had a day off from the court and will resume play tomorrow. The tournament ends Sunday. Meli Tabanga, FBC Sports.
Young Fijian bodybuilder Zainal Reddy is in Australia to compete in the 2017 IFBB South Pacific Oceania Championship, his first international tournament. 19-year-old Zainal is the son of Fiji football vice president Jitendra Reddy and hopes to also do well for himself in the sport of his choice. Rohit Deo with the story.
His dad has made a name for himself in the football circle, and now Zainal Reddy is looking to do the same in bodybuilding.
There's going to be participants from all across the globe. IFBB is like the biggest organization of bodybuilding in the whole world. So there's going to be athletes from all around the world, the top athletes from all around the world.
Reddy will compete in the men's physique category and is ready to take on the best.
The athletes over there are going to be really tough to beat. So I've done a good preparation and I hope to finish somewhere in the top 5.
Zainal's family has always supported him in his bodybuilding career and they hope for a good result.
Me and my wife has always been supportive of not only for his sports activities but his studies as well. So for me, education is a priority at this age. He's just being 19 years old, education is a priority, but on the side I push my children to get involved in sports because that keeps them healthy, their minds are fresh.
Bodybuilding champion Nilesh Chand, who recently won a gold and a silver medal at the New Zealand Championship, has wished the three the very best.
All the best boys, go nail it. Make Fiji proud. Make Fiji proud. Come on, we can do it.
The competition takes place in New South Wales this weekend. Rohit Dev, FBC Sports.
That's it from sports tonight. Join Angie later on with weather, and in our new media segment, a look at the impact social media is having on restaurant marketing. That's coming up.
Bula, Keron mai singatoka, Keron do talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and Domoy Viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon ko lang do talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kana Domoy Viti.
Kaya kuya sila tale, nagurara may nawamanyi, nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gagawin sa vale, nagudurong barong na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 na Domoy Viti na bonga ni BNN.
In new media, no meal seems complete these days without a picture of the plate posted on social media. Instagram and other apps have spawned an entire industry that's changing the way restaurants market themselves. And it's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World. A warm, wet day, I must say. Great time to stay indoors and enjoy the dripping rain. We are expecting this rainy weather for a few more days. Looking at the west, a few thunderstorms were rumbling here with cloudiness all over. Eastwards from Pekaba to Suva, a bit of sunshine which lasted for a while before rain decided to intrude. And up north, this side of the island also had few thunderstorms and slight drizzle. At sea, northeast to northwest winds 10 to 15 knots with moderate seas. And for the tides, high tide tonight will be at 11:18 with low tide tomorrow morning at 5:49. See the beauty of sunrise at 5:30. For tomorrow, we are looking at the same weather pattern. More rain is coming our way, so be prepared. Tomorrow's temps, Lambasa will be the warmest with highs of 32 degrees. And looking further on to Saturday, rain is gradually expected to drift away. Looks like a fun day to me. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. On Fijian Pulse today, we asked, do we need the Special Response Unit from the police force to be out more on streets to curb crime?
I think there's a lot of crime now happening. I think they should be out and look into that crime to prevent it.
Yes, the police response unit should be out more so it can reduce daily crime like pickpocketing and other crime.
Yes, I think the police mobile team should start patrolling our towns and cities so that it can ward off criminals from trying to cause troubles in towns, and their visibility will instill fear in these criminals.
And I think if they put a lot of cops on the streets to be around, then people might be afraid to do this kind of crimes and stuff.
I think the Special Response Unit should look into the current crime that's happening.
Recapping the main stories, Lambasa residents get least security. Over 500 Fijians have assets over $1 million and concerns raised by PAC over Nandi Town Council. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question this week, we are asking, should sex education be made compulsory from primary school level? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, today's shot of the day comes from Setoki Tuiteti, the sunrise from My Super Park, showing the famous picnic spot Nukulau Island on the left and Makuluva to the right. Be sure to email us your pictures to fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or post them to our Facebook page, FBC News. You can also like and follow us on Twitter at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was your FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, stay safe. Good night.
Bula, keron mai singatoka, keron do talita kana varorong na Radio Fiji 1 and do moi viti.
Ayaw na rin siya. Kombinasyon mo tikola do talita kana Radio Fiji 1 kina do moi viti.
Kaya kuyazo sila tale. Nagurara may nawamanyi nandunga. Gitu talita gini ang gabina sa vale nagudurong. Barong na Radio Fiji 1 nandu moi viti.
Na Radio Fiji 1 nandu moi viti na bonga ni BNN.